detectives. It's Chelsea here, and today is a very special day for me because I have an exciting thing that I've set up in my house. I'm going to show you. It's a little machine, and the machine has a way of keeping the air really warm and putting a little bit of moisture into it. And that air, that warm air and that moisture helps these little eggs to hatch. Different from eggs that you might buy at a grocery store or a farmer's market that maybe you would eat or use when you're baking. These eggs have little quail growing inside of them. Now, quail are similar to chickens, but a little bit smaller. I always think of a chicken hand as maybe fitting in the palm of my hand. These little quail eggs are about the size of my thumb. I'll go a little bit closer and show you. There's the quail eggs. There's my thumb. About the same size. Now I have 12 quail eggs in my incubator. And they've been in there incubating for a little bit. Quail eggs take anywhere between about 16 and 21 days to hatch. So that's maybe like 2 or 3 weeks that they have to sit in there and grow inside their shells and get bigger and get ready to hatch. But while they're in there, the air will stay warm for them. There will be just the right amount of moisture or humidity, and every once in a while the machine even helps those eggs to turn. Now, I've hatched eggs a couple times, never quail before, only chicken. And I will say that every time some of the eggs have hatched, but not all of the eggs have hatched. So there are 12 quail eggs inside my incubator, and I don't know how many of them will hatch. Maybe all 12, maybe 0, probably somewhere in between. But I'm excited to keep watching them over the next 2 or 3 weeks and get to see how many hatch out. Thanks for sharing my quail with me. See you soon. Hi everyone, it's me again, back with my quail eggs. And it's just about the time of day when they're going to go ahead and start turning. They do it several times a day, once every 2 hours. Just flip right over. And that helps to make sure that every side of the egg is staying warm and has all the things that it needs to hatch when they're ready. So in just a couple minutes, what this will do is it'll make a loud kind of beeping noise. And then there are actually some little gears. You can see them. They almost look like little teeth, little zigzags right in there. And when that loud beep happens, what will happen is a little gear moves that plate and helps the eggs to turn over. So in just a couple of minutes, we should hear that beep and be able to see those eggs turning over. You can see I've written numbers on them, 1 through 12. It's a little bit upside down. Let's see, there's egg number 5 and 6. Egg 7 is over here. And the reason that I wrote on those just with a little bit of pencil is that then when I look at them and it turns, those numbers will go from being on the top to being on the bottom. I won't be able to see them anymore. And that helps me to make sure that my gears are working correctly and that the eggs are turning over the way that they should. I think if we watch, you can kind of hear it making a humming noise right now. And the humming noise is just keeping the temperature and the humidity just what they should be for the eggs. But soon, we'll hear that beep to turn them over. Here it goes. And there you can see it was just one little turn, just kind of flipped them over. And now you cannot see where the numbers are written. They're on the underside. Stay warm, little quail eggs. Hi everyone, it's Chelsea again, back with my quail eggs. Just thought that I would show you how they're doing today, and then also give you a little peek at some of the controls that are on the incubator that help me to control the conditions inside the incubator, kind of how warm it is, how many days the eggs have left to keep turning in there. So there's the quail eggs in there. You can see they're number side down right now. Cannot see the numbers on the top. And then if we get kind of close to the top of the incubator here, see if we can move over and see it, there are some numbers and some letters. T stands for temperature. And you can see I'm keeping it between 99.8 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty toasty warm in there. And then day, where it says day, and then 10, that's how many days that incubator will keep turning before the eggs are ready to hatch. So when I set those, it actually said 16, because that's kind of the minimum that it would take quail eggs to hatch. Could be anywhere from 16 to 21. But hopefully, you know, they've been in there a couple days now. So hopefully in about 10 days, that would be kind of the earliest that we might begin seeing some little baby quail hatching in there. All right, stay warm in there, quail eggs. Hi everyone, it's Chelsea here, back with my quail eggs. And we are actually at day 15 of incubation now, which means that they just have about 1 or 2 more days that they're gonna be incubating before they're ready to hatch out, which means that it's the time that we're gonna take that yellow tray that they're sitting on, gently move the eggs and switch it to what's called our hatching mat, just a little piece of cardboard with some grooves in it so that they have a nice cozy place to hatch out onto that's safe for their little legs. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip my camera so I can show you how I'll do that. Okay, so in this part, I've already washed my hands to make sure that I'm not putting any of that germs on the eggs. And what I'm gonna have to do is remove this top and then set the eggs in this bowl while I switch out the mat. It's gonna make the humidity go down inside there and also the temperature, so we're gonna try to do it just as quickly and carefully as we can, so the eggs are not cold. I'm just taking the lid off now. I'm just going to go through one by one. Just gently set them into that bowl. So on your video, look at a couple of these eggs. Especially these ones up here, just kind of gently shaking. There's like a tiny little quail in them shaking. That was number 11. Now I'm just going to take this yellow turner that the eggs had been on with those grooves that help to turn it, pop it out, and put that hatching mat. And the one other thing I'm going to do while I have this open is pour some more water into this little center well. What has been happening here, I'll get a little close up. There are 2 parts in it, and one has been filled this whole time to keep the humidity just right. But now that it's almost hatch day, we're gonna fill it up so that both are filled to increase the humidity, have more moisture in that air. And then all I'm gonna do is just set my eggs right back. Gently. I'm not worrying about putting them back in their number order because I want to get them back in here as quickly as I can so that those little chicks can get back to being these eggs. So I definitely want to get them back under that warm air again as quickly as I can. That nice warm humid air. I'm going to put this little cap on top of that water, that way when these tiny chicks hatch out, they won't fall into that water. And then all I'm going to do is just gently put that lid back on. And that's going to stay on there until those eggs are ready to hatch. And one fun thing that I've noticed with these eggs is that if I kind of gently peep at them, make the sounds that maybe a grown-up quail would make, sometimes they shake in response. Let's see if they'll do it this time. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. See it shaking? Let's try one more. Beep, 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 beep. It's rocking. everyone, it's Chelsea here with my quail, which have just hatched. They are just 1 day old today. And looking in their brooder, which is the name for the little home that they stay in right after they're born, I can show you we've got 1 quail. And then underneath this, if I just lift it up, hiding under there are 2 quail, 3 quail, 3 little quail in there. I'm gonna put this back down and I'll show you some of the things that are in here helping to take care of them. First, it's just got some nice soft bedding for them to get cozy in so they can walk more easily. Some fresh water and some nice ground up food. And then that big black thing that they are hiding underneath is a little warming plate. It's got a little plate on the underside that heats up and keeps them warm. And as they get bigger, you can kind of move it up these red sticks so they can continue to fit underneath. But for now, they kind of crawl underneath there and it feels nice and toasty warm to them, just like if a mama bird was kind of sitting on top of them, keeping them warm. So you can see they're really enjoying hiding in there right now. It's getting to be their bedtime, so they're kind of snuggling up in there, all of them together. Hi everyone, I'm back with my quail. Just wanted to give you a really up close look at them so you can see just how tiny and cute they are. And you can imagine how teeny tiny they are, that all 3 of them really just fit in the palm of my hand there. So let's let them down and scoot around there. Here you go, buddy. And they really love to run around in there. Let's see if we can get a little up close view of one of them. Come here, bud. I'll show you just how tiny their little thumbs, their little heads are even smaller than my thumb. See there, get the camera to focus. So you can see his teeny little beak and those tiny feet. They will be growing so quickly. Little baby birds really grow very quickly. He's kind of pecking at my hand, trying to look for food. I'll let him back in here so we can get some food. I just want to show you how tiny they are. They're really just 2 days old right now, so still so small. But will definitely be growing pretty quickly. Bye, little quail.